contests here, or like Fast Freddy and Moonquake, and then there's some other contests being done by other people over here that are high score contests by some other people. As we try and find more champions to add to this very voluminous book on Arcade Champions, the official video game and pinball book of world records. So we'll see how the weekend goes. We also published a poster for the event, for California Extreme. That'll be one of the many prizes that we'll be handing out in the course of the weekend. So this is a very big event. California's very profound. It's got lots and lots of arcade games here. Probably the largest gathering of arcade games in the entire world. So we'll see how it goes and see what kind of champions emerge.
Okay, any comment on King of Kong movie?
Well, the King of Kong is an amazing movie. It's going to probably be a historic movie. I have lots of complaints about the plot. However, we're going to see how it goes. We're going to actually view it later today, so I can refresh myself with the plot of the movie before I have any further comments on it. Okay. But it's an extraordinary movie, and everybody realizes that. It'll be remembered as much for also the ensuing controversy over the plot. People are investigating what parts of the movie are true, what parts of the movie are exaggerated.
And anything on comment on Chasing Ghosts?
Chasing Ghosts is a movie about the origins of Twin Galaxies and about the first video game champions to ever surface in public and actually be brought together and turned into what we'll call a gaming elite. An elite cadre of professional gamers. So it's a very historic movie also because those players are essentially the birth cradle of video game playing. They're the first superstars who are what you could consider hardcore gamers.
Is that movie mostly footage from the 80s as well then? Or?
A lot of it's footage from the 80s, but it also has reviews of people in the modern era.
Okay.
I mean, following their lives to where they are today.
And would you say most of the old high scores from the 80s are starting to fall down again within those 5 years?
Quite a few of the scores from the 80s are falling down.
Okay.
So it's an interesting process. More and more superstars today are mastering the games on a level that the superstars of yesteryear were not able to attain.
All right.
It's very profound.
Would you say that it kind of was like a 25-year gap where a lot of scores in the 80s and then all of a sudden sort of a resurgence in the last 5 years kind of thing?
Yeah, the last 5 years there's been a resurgence of interest in arcade gaming. And as that's happened, more and more acclaim is being directed at the people who are the champions. And as that happens, scores are going up higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. So a lot of score levels that we thought were impossible years ago are now being realized in this modern era. More and more champions are surfacing. And interestingly enough, a lot of those champions who are surfacing today were some of the champions of yesteryear who just took a 15, 20-year vacation and are now back into gaming.
Okay, I got two more questions. What would you suggest to someone who was going to try to submit a high score? Maybe they have the book. Do they have to have it on VHS, or how does that usually work?
Oh yeah, VHS is best. To have the whole thing, the coin drop, the very first moment when you do the coin drop, right up to the end of the game. And in some games, we even have people photograph their boards, their interiors, speak to the microphone themselves, the camera themselves, so we can ID them with the actual gameplay. So there's a very elaborate set of information on our website.
Okay.
People can follow those instructions, and that'll give them enough information to be able to submit to us.
Okay, and then the last one is anything on the Pac-Man split screen? Like I remember he offered someone to pass that. Is it actually possible to be passed, or does it seem like that's the end of the line there?
No one's been able to get past it. Still to this day, no one's been able to get past that split screen.
And it has something to do with the numbers 255 and 256,
well, I guess there's something to do with the code that escapes me because I'm not a programmer. And that code seems to determine how the game behaves. I guess what happens is the code doesn't generate enough something or other so that it can create another screen and continue onward. But I'm very much a non-programmer, so I can't explain it in any kind of terminology. Other than that, we know pretty well, it's pretty well established that the game does not go on any further past that 256 screen.
So there may be a way, but probably not, in other words.
If there is, it's not come to our attention yet.
Okay. And then how about I guess the High Score movie and Missile Command and Tony Temple and Roy Schilt, all that kind of stuff? Any comments on that record?
Well, they're great champions. Both of them are great champions, and we'll see how the future turns out.
Okay.
High Score movie's great. William Carlton is here today. He's going to, I think, be there for the High Score. Are you going to be here for all the movies?
Yeah.
Okay, have you seen any of them yet?
No, I haven't seen any of them.
very interesting experience.
And I also read in the book that you had some high scores yourself on a couple games.
Oh, I was pretty good at make tracks at Galaxy and at Gorf and Berserk, but that's 25 years ago, and that's way back when I actually used to play. I don't play video games nowadays.
Oh, because all the time scoring them and stuff like that.
Yeah,
right?
because all the time doing all this stuff.
So none of those records are still standing or anything?
Oh,
or?
no. Make Tracks was the first game I ever had the high score on, but now I think I'd be like in 5th place or something like that.
Oh, that's still pretty up there though, huh? All right.
Not bad.
Yeah, all right. All right, well thanks for talking to us today.
Okay, very nice meeting you.
All right, cool.
Very nice.
It wasn't recording at first.